have two directions I want to go with this video. Okay, first of all, ignore the lighting. It's gonna be bad, and I don't know what to tell you. Are you guys used to it by now? The lighting is always terrible. The production quality is always low. I probably should have planned this video a little better. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to talk about a couple of things I wish I knew before I started college. I am a sophomore in college, and I've been thriving, if you could call it that. No. I was talking to my mom about this, and so she said that I'm killing it and that I'm thriving. And I was like, Mom, thriving is a state of mind, killing it is just a state of fact. Okay, so I am killing it. I hate to flex, but I'm not thriving. Let's get into it. Okay, that was my intro song, so you're welcome. I realize now that I stole that song from Phineas and Ferb. I should probably make a list, right? The first thing I wish I actually did make a list. Maybe I would be more successful if I actually planned these videos instead of just deciding I have the opportunity to film, I should film. It's fine though. Oh. There's nothing. I thought I'd have something to work with, and I don't. So, let's wing it. Okay, first things first. I'm going to talk about going to a small school. And I go to a small, private Christian college. There's a couple things you need to know going into that. One of the first things that I would say about this particular type of college is that it is kind of like high school. The school that I go to is in Nebraska, and so everyone knew each other before coming here. They've all played each other in sports before and either went to school or knew of the school that they came from. So coming in as an out-of-stater, you kind of get dragged into all of that, and sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing because you kind of really get to know the people you're around, and you get to meet people and kind of involve yourself in ways that you didn't think you'd be able to because everyone knows each other. But the problem is everybody knows each other, and so you can take that as you will. I don't know if it's good or bad. I personally am not a huge fan of it. I did go to a high school of about the same size, so I'm kind of used to the dynamic of a bigger environment, but with people who know each other. So it's not too bad. Another thing I wish I knew before college is that every single semester is going to be different. My freshman year semester, I was really homesick all the time, and I didn't have a lot of friends, but then towards the end of semester around Christmas time, I started to make a really, really good, close group of friends, and I thought, these are my best friends for life. Like, we're gonna be friends forever. But second semester, I was dating that boy, but all of my other friends from that group had decided they were gonna transfer. They all started hanging out in different groups, and so my second semester was entirely different from the first one. And then coming into first semester this year, I had different roommates from my basketball team, and we got really close, so that became my friend group. And then right now it's second semester of my sophomore year, and so far it's been like super chill. I've been spending a lot of time with my roommates, and so they've kind of become my new friend group, my new best friends. But, you know, I'm in athletics, I'm a basketball player, and basketball is entirely different this year than it was last year. My classes are entirely different. That is because I switched my major. And yeah, my friend group is 100% new people from my freshman year, and I didn't even know that would happen. I had no expectations coming in for this year on who I was going to be friends with, but I'm actually really happy with how things turned out. But it is very, very different from your freshman year. And I know everyone says, like, there's those posts on Instagram or whatever that are like,
the people I've known for 2 months are better friends to me than my friends that I've had for 7 years or whatever.
And that can be true in some respects, and you can make really, really good friends that stick with you all through college. But you have to be open to change because sometimes they're not your best friends forever, and that's okay. You know, you guys share memories and things change, and then you kind of grow out of each other, which is okay because you're going to change throughout college. I'm already completely different than when I started. I have a lot of the same traits and same ideas and things like that, but I am kind of a different person, which I'm thankful for. But you just have to be aware that you're going to change and the people around you are going to change, even from one semester to another. Another thing that I wish I knew before college is that people are going to be selfish. This can include yourself. Being selfish in this age and this time and growing as a college student is not necessarily a bad thing. You need to do the things that make you happy. You need to do the things that are good for you. You need to make changes when they need to be made for your own well-being and your own happiness. It becomes a problem when it affects the people around you negatively. For me, being selfish kind of meant choosing who I wanted to hang out with and who I wanted to spend my time with in a way that I felt would best benefit me, and not in the way that I'm going to take advantage of these people. But if I knew I was having more fun with a certain group of people versus another, it's okay to hang out with a group of people that you really enjoy. In college, you're not really forced to hang out with anyone, and so this is a perfect time to really decide who you want to surround yourself with. And then also that comes to maybe homework or going to bed early or anything like that. Like, if you want to go to bed early instead of going out, it's okay to be selfish and take that time for yourself to go to bed early. Sometimes self-care decisions become the selfish decisions that you have to make on your own. So whether that means, spending some time alone, whether it means I want to do homework by myself tonight, it's okay to be selfish in those respects. Another thing that I wish I knew before coming to college is eating healthy is way more difficult when you're on your own. It's so easy to eat unhealthy, especially at our cafeteria where most options for food there are unhealthy. So try to make the right decision, try to take care of your body, exercise, all that kind of stuff. It's more important than you think, and it really changes your entire mood. Another thing that I wish I knew before I started college is kind of about athletics. It depends on what kind of sport you played. It depends on the size of the school that you go to, but athletics take up a lot of time, so this is where prioritization comes in and time management, but it really is so important to make sure you get your freaking homework done. So I love the classes I'm taking, and so I love going to class, but definitely sometimes I just don't feel like it, but you will regret it if you don't go. And whether that means, hanging out in your room watching another episode of whatever show on TV, or taking time to hang out with your friends instead of going to class. Dog, you gotta go to class, because they tell you valuable stuff. You're paying, you're wasting your own money if you don't go. And I understand you're like, was my mentality last year, was it's my money, I should get to decide if I want to go to class or not. But it is your money, so you're deciding if you want to go to class or not, and so you should, because you're paying for it. That's just my opinion. I kind of got away from athletics there, so I'll go back into it. And depending on the size of the school you go to, what sport you play, athletics become your life. I made all my friends this year through basketball. There's been a lot of, tough situations I've had to go through regarding basketball, but it's still teaching you character. It's still teaching you a lot of different things about life and hard work, and it's great exercise. Practice every day is so good for you, but I think that you have to know that while you are a college athlete, the sport can't be your whole entire life, because once you graduate and you move on from the sport, real life starts. And so it is teaching you lots of skills, it is teaching you a lot about life, but you need to make sure that you know that there is more to life than whatever sport you play. I could ramble for hours about athletics and sports and what it's taught me and what I have for expectations next year and things like that. I'm just going to put it flat out. It teaches you a lot. It's good for you. It's not everything. So do your homework, hang out with your friends, do the things you enjoy doing, take up hobbies, whatever. Focus on your sport, put your all into your sport, but know that it isn't real life. That's a huge thing that I've had to kind of distinguish this year, is you determine the importance of the things that you have in your life currently, and athletics is just a part of it. Another thing too is being smart with your money. So for me, I have a on-campus job that I do that only pays like minimum wage, and I only get maybe 7 hours of work a week. So it's very important, especially if you're not in athletics, to get a job. Whether it's some fast food restaurant, whether it's an on-campus job where you do only have a couple hours a week, just something to make sure your money's coming in so you're not constantly texting your parents for money, because sometimes there's no shame in that because you are struggling in college, but there is kind of an independence that comes with college that I think everyone kind of needs to learn, especially financially. Yeah, that's my financial advice. You know me, Jayda the finance lady. Another thing, talking about classes. It's okay to switch your major and really decide what you want to do and fall in love with it, but you need to have a plan, because especially at my school, some classes are only offered every other spring or every other fall. So making sure that you know when you're planning on taking the rest of your classes for your degree in the next coming years is super important. So sit down with your advisor, talk to them, plan out your schedule, plan out, next semester at the very least, because they're there to help you, and I'm sure they care about you, and if they don't care about you, switch advisors. But they really just want you to make sure that you're prepared for the next 4 years. So make sure you create connections and relationships with your advisors and with your professors. It's so important. For me, I already kind of know all of my professors personally because we only have maybe 14 in every class, 14 students, which is fine. But you definitely get to know everyone really well in a smaller school, so that's why it's so important when you go to a bigger school to create those relationships, because you want to have people behind you. You want to have people who could write you recommendation letters or be a reference for a job or things like that. Another thing I wish I knew before college is that it's really important to take mental health breaks and spend some time alone doing things you enjoy doing. And if you don't have a lot of things that you enjoy doing, like if basketball is your hobby, take up another hobby, maybe drawing or painting, or we got a puzzle going on over here, like something like that can kind of relax you and take your mind off of classes or work or basketball or other athletics or any type of stress that you may be experiencing, which you don't even really process. Because for me, I don't really process my stress. I don't realize I'm stressed until I'm sitting down drawing and I'm like, this is great. This feels good. So whether that is, taking a nap, watching TV, cleaning, I love to clean, things like that, where you can do them in your dorm room, you could do them, in a lounge area or study room where you can just take a break, be alone. If you're good at it or not, do something that you love, because there are tons of different hobbies out there that you could take up that you didn't even know you liked. So for me, I like to draw. I've got a bunch of different sketchbooks. I have also switched my major to a double major, so I'm a marketing and graphic design double major. So I'm taking a lot of art classes, so drawing is a really good way to keep my creative juices flowing for when I'm in art class. I also like to collage, so I find pictures online and I just print them out and Mod Podge them all on a sheet of paper, and that was really relaxing and super satisfying for me. I also like to paint. I know I'm super lucky because my hobby has become my major, and so I can go into the art building and work on an assignment, and it feels like getting some self-care done, if that makes sense. I think the last thing I want to say that I wish I knew before college is that there is no shame in taking time for yourself. There's no shame in eating lunch alone. There's no shame in not being popular, because at my school, I mentioned, it does feel a lot like high school. So there's a lot of people who think popularity is still really important, which it's not. It's about who you are and who you want to be, and the people you surround yourself with if you're enjoying your time with them. Because in college, it doesn't matter who you know, it doesn't matter what you're doing on the weekends, as long as you're enjoying yourself and you're having fun and you're taking care of yourself. Yeah, so that's what I wish I knew before starting college. I'm sure there's 100 other things that I wish I knew, but you don't get to hear them today. So actually, I want to do a room tour now because I did one last year and I think that's fun, even though I know you don't care. So here we go. Welcome to Ruth C. Okay, so I probably should have definitely cleaned before starting this, but who cares? So this is our front door. There's our basketball schedule. This is our letter board. We actually had a puzzle table that we stole from the basement that we got in trouble for taking, and also we got in trouble for having a toaster. So this is just our thing of failures. And also this is the toaster. This is the toaster violation paper, which is awesome. So this is my roommate's side. This is her desk and her lights and her bed, which are cute. And then, boom, turn it this way. So this is our futon. That's a shirt. And also I'm reffing later, so that's my shirt. Ignore that. This is the futon. These are our cubes. Sorry, I'm shaking. I drink coffee. I keep things in there. I don't know why I'm focusing on the cubes. Puzzle table that my grandma gave us. Also, it's definitely a fire hazard, so if there's a fire, I'm dead. This is our TV and all our DVDs. Obviously, the most important ones. Okay, this is my desk area. There's a butterfly I was drawing. It's kind of cluttered because we don't have a ton of space, but that's my desk, trash can, backpack. This is my bed. She's real comfy. I'm really proud of how it looks over here, especially when I make my bed. Oh my it would look better if I didn't have that there. Okay, yeah. These are our neighbors, the boys' dorms. Then there's my little plant. He's actually been alive since September, so I'm killing it. Yeah, and then if you come over this way, it's also a little fire hazard here. Here's our mini fridge, and back here's our Keurig. It's kind of gross, so we don't really use it all that much. This is my roommate's closet. Here's mine, and then also, hi honey. Also, I've got that stuff up there. Lots of storage space, wow. And then I have too many clothes. So yeah, we've got dressers here, and then 2 separate closet areas for both of us. Storage space up top, and then ew, our carpet's disgusting, ignore that. Here's another mirror. And then if you come over in here, this is kind of interesting. So this is our bathroom. It's pretty gross. I cleaned it yesterday though. Our toilet, sink, mirror. There's not a lot of storage in here at all, so all our cleaning stuff goes down there. And then if these doors are closed, here's the shower. I'm not going to show you inside because it's pretty freaking disgusting. But yeah. And then over here's my roommate's room. I'm not going to show you. If your pause game is strong, you get to see it, but there's that. So yeah, that is our little Ruth C. home. It's pretty crowded all the time, but it's cozy, and we made it to where we love it. So super good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was kind of interesting or helpful or insightful to the life of a college student athlete here. So take my advice, don't. It's up to you. Just make your college experience everything you want it to be, because it's so possible to be happy in college, but it's easy to not be happy too. So take care of yourself. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I know I'm bad at uploading. It's just editing is so boring. Recording videos is so tedious, especially when my speaker doesn't work. So I'm working on it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye. Ooh, sound check 1 2. Sound check 1 2.